107.5 WBLS. Welcome inside of the warmth and comfort of the quiet storm. I'm Lenny Green. Nice to be close to you. It's Monday. Welcome back from the weekend. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I had a chance to jumpstart the weekend with that young lady that you just heard, Melissa Morgan. Once again, much love going out to Melissa Morgan and CeCe Pedersen. Melissa, look out for her unsung story on TV One soon, because they were taping Friday night in Newark, New Jersey. Time for us to get inside a little confessions of love, and I am honored and happy to see a dear friend, and she is driving me up the wall right now because she's wearing a fragrance. and y'all know how I feel about a lady who smells good. And fellas, yes, it's one of those moments tonight. And she has a fragrance I've smelled. My nose knows this fragrance. Anyway, it's nice to welcome back an ex-mob wife. From the VH1 show, Miss Ramona Rizzo. Thank you for coming by tonight. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
You still, and you're going to sound seductive on top of that. Okay, so now you're really going to mess with me now. So how's life? How you been?
Life is great. You know, I think just at the end of the day, as long as my kids are healthy,
Right.
and I could smile every day, life is great.
You have a wonderful smile, and you have, I think, well, if you're fortunate to have children, you say what you say. But if we're just fortunate just to open up our eyes, that in itself, for me, I can get by anything else. Just to be in good health and to open up my eyes. I'm very, very happy with that.
And to see the beauty around instead of just seeing the misery.
Yes.
A lot of times people just keep on focusing on, oh, I wish I had this. I wish my life was better. What about the things that you do have? You should just be thankful to God at times.
Wow. You better preach tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of beauty, y'all can get online and you can see us and continue to hear the conversation that we're going to have online tonight. So Ramona Rizzo, yep, she's with us tonight. You can go to WBLS.com, click on the Quiet Storm page, go to LennyGreen.com. Right there on the homepage, you can click and see us behind the scenes because we will definitely continue the conversation. I wanted to kind of cover the spectrum tonight on a variety of things, and I thank you for being courageous enough to come down because you did say the last time you were here, I know the last time you came to sit down, you were on Mob Wives,
Yes.
and you said you would love to come back to get
Anytime.
into the relationship. Well, hey, look, we're going to talk about some kind of relationship situations. We're going to talk about several. The first topic on the table tonight is, what would you do if you found out your significant other cheated on you with the same sex?
The first thing I would do?
Yeah.
Probably run to go get an HIV test.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. And that would be the first thing?
Yeah, because you know what? I just think that in a way it's so taboo right now because we sit there and we kind of connect AIDS with, being gay or having sex. But also, too, when you sit there and you think about two guys having sex, I think automatically, maybe if a guy has sex with a girl, like, oh, did he get her pregnant or this or that? But when two guys come together, it just, it screams possibly AIDS.
Someone else hit us up on Facebook. They said, leave them and get tested. Josephine says, leave him alone because obviously wasn't given what the dude was giving him. Wow, crazy topic. Yeah, it is a crazy topic, but it's reality, especially in 2014. We're going to continue online. Ramona Rizzo, former mob wife from the VH1 show, is with us tonight. So please feel free to call us up. 1-855-453-6694. 1-855-453-6694. It's Confessions of Love, baby. Behind the scenes with Ramona Rizzo, beauty has definitely electrified the room, and thank you for making it so radiant and lovely. And you making it smell. I mean, I got my candle, but forget about my candle. You don't want to tell me that the fragrance is, huh?
No, definitely not on air because you know what? It's really hard right now to get it.
I get it.
And no, we can't.
No, I got it. Okay. Well, I'm going to remember before we leave the building. That's for sure. Ramona Rizzo. One of the questions I have before we kind of get into the topics tonight, why did you leave My Wives?
There was, a couple of reasons going on. One of the major reasons why it all started was if you want me to play, you need to pay. And they didn't want to.
Well, you weren't doing it free, were you?
No, but they kind of were trying to have me as do it free when you looked at all the figures they were pulling in and you looked at what everybody else was kind of clocking.
Gotcha.
And with that started to undercover some other things.
Got it.
And with that, a very dear friendship over 25 years got wiped out. Because money is the root of a lot of people's evil.
Yeah. It can definitely destroy some things. My question to you is reality TV reality?
Depends where you work.
Oh, okay, all right. That's a loaded statement. Depends where you work. So that I'm an intelligent guy, so I'm going to figure out that not everything that we see should be believable.
No, and
At the
there's
end
a
of the day.
lot of, there's a big word in the reality world is called editing. So you might say something, and the way that may edit it at the end of the day comes off like another way. When I did my first season, I really had to have tough skin because they really try to, give me a beating. But, I stood back up.
Yeah. Well, we kind of saw your tenacity and your strength in that season, and we knew that even though they came at you, and I'm sure, obviously, you may not have expected a lot of things to come at you the way they did, but you definitely handled yourself well, and you carried yourself well, and you're a strong woman.
I stood true to myself, but at the end of it, I also had to learn that there was a lot more to it because I took my job home with me.
Mm.
And a lot of the girls had to go home with that. So once the cameras stopped filming, we still went home with that animosity, that beef, that situation that we all lived in the same area where these people were kind of creating and their pockets were
Really?
getting richer. And here we are, we're ready to like kill each other at any given moment.
And look, if you look at, I don't, how often do you look at reality TV now?
As even when I started doing the show,
Yeah.
I stopped watching TV a lot because I didn't have any time. And now I'm kind of like in the habit. I'll watch it, once in a blue moon if there's a friend on. I love Love and Hip Hop. I loved it from the beginning, and a lot of my friends are on there. So if I could, I'll watch that just because I get a kick out of it. But I don't really watch it as much anymore. Not because I'm not on it, just because, I don't really have the time.
Right. No, I get it. I get it. Well, to expand on what you had just said a moment ago, I mean, we see a lot of that. We see a lot of like animosity, a lot of problems, a lot of fights,
Yes.
unnecessary things. And, you could see that it goes to the next level. And obviously, people can't separate, I guess, fact from fiction.
But that next level, also makes you want to tune in next week.
Yes, it does. It's called Ratchet TV. No, but
or maybe some people want to do sex videos and then talk about it when the season's coming up. I mean, I don't know.
Nice. Yeah, I think you know about that if you're watching Love and Hip Hop. That's for sure. Anyway, Ramona Rizzo is her name. Obviously, you probably remember her face from Mob Wives. And now that you have really exposed yourself, obviously, I think people are kind of curious, or some folks are kind of curious. What happens next for Ramona Rizzo?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's just really what I feel comfortable with my next move is. I'm working on something that, I'm going to talk about in about 2 weeks. It comes from a background that I am involved in, which is people that always seem to be incarcerated, which
Right.
is something that I was brought up in. I've had relationships with people in incarceration. It's just part of who I am.
Help me understand something, from a woman's standpoint. How can I say this? Okay, you meet a guy,
Yes.
and he gets in trouble,
Mm-hmm.
and he gets incarcerated. Now, you stay with this dude, and he may have, like, maybe 10, he may be facing 10 years. Does it depend on how long you've known this guy to determine you're going to still stay with this guy, or I can't possibly imagine or understand, I should say, if I just met a person
Mm-hmm.
and they became incarcerated. And to kind of give you a time frame, let's say within a year, I don't know if I could be devoted to this relationship and you're going to be incarcerated.
Well,
So what is it? Because
there's a lot of relationships that are built from jail. Like a lot of people, find it's really odd. You might think it's crazy, but at the end of the day, a lot of people have gone on a visit and maybe to go see their uncle or whatnot, and maybe met the guy that is maybe in jail and is having a visit with his mother. I've heard of stories like that.
Wow.
And it does happen, and they wind up, coming, talking, writing, and later on, coming home and making it work. There are cases like that. And then there's also type of groupie situations in jail. Look at the Hernandez brothers.
Yeah.
They
I
had all
heard about
these
that,
crazy
yeah.
women wanting to marry them and whatnot. There's men in jail that have that whole pen pal situation. But I mean, for me in general, I just think that it has to just come in a sense you have to have some type of background. I don't think that I could be with somebody, in a relationship if I had like maybe months. I think you have to be dealing with somebody on some type of
Long
level
time.
for years, or you just have to know in your gut, because I do believe when you do meet somebody that you know that they possibly are the one. if they're in jail
Really?
or if they're outside of jail.
Really?
Just sometimes a girl knows it or a guy knows it.
And I'm not disagreeing with you. I've heard many guys say, "Hey, man, first time I met her, I knew she was going to be my wife." I guess.
So it's an unfortunate situation that they, have this problem going on. But at the end of the day, it doesn't take away the fact that maybe when you did meet them, you might have known.
Okay.
It's not easy. It's not an easy thing.
It's not an easy thing because a lot of things go through my mind, and I commend those who are willing to deal with that because it's a challenge. I would think it's a challenge.
But any relationship is a challenge.
I know. Well, it is. That's why I would not deal with a long distance relationship.
Okay.
Would you?
I wouldn't be a top of my list, but I've learned in my life that I can never say never anymore. We've heard this, but there have been so many things that have taken place that it's just probably a tattoo that I should get.
Okay. Well, maybe that's a tattoo you should definitely get. I can't say that I know for a fact if you lived in Chicago and we met, it'd be like, no. As much as I wanted to.
Certain people know what they could stand and not stand. I personally am just a sucker for love.
So am I.
So, I think people just have different bending points. Some people bend more than others.
It depends on how much your heart has been trampled on.
Or how much your heart wants to go the extra mile.
Well, but how do you go the extra mile in every relationship?
Every relationship, or like we just date, or like a real relationship?
Well, everything starts with
Because I have
like
those throwaway relationships too.
Well, see, I didn't know that. We're going to go back on there. 107.5 WBLS. Welcome inside the Confessions of Love, baby. You said something. Ramona Rizzo, former mob wife from the show Mob Wives, is with us tonight. And you said something just a second ago before we came back on air. That's why I hope that you're watching and listening to us online, because you get a whole lot more of information sometimes when you watch and listen. You said you have throwaway relationships. What's a throwaway relationship? Because I'm sure you're not the only woman who has throwaway relationships in the past. So
I just think that's I kind of like broke it down the other day. I think a throwaway relationship kind of like when you're gonna date somebody, but they're not the one, so you just go out to dinner, you do what you need to do. They're like your little companion. But at the end of the day, you're not taking away the fact that they're nice, they're attractive. But at the end of the day, you're gonna throw them away.
So do you let them know? Because that's the problem I have. We're gonna go out. Can you let me know my status? Like, I'm not interested in you. I just need to do this.
It's not that
dinner
I'm not
thing with
interested. I think that you're nice. I think that you're attractive. We'll date, we'll do whatever. But there's certain signs later on when it comes to it, like, I want you to meet my mother. Oh no, we're good. Then your status, you're throwaway.
Guys asked to
bring me home to mom.
Really?
Yes, I have in the past. And
see, if it's not natural, I'm not going to ask. But
what do you mean, but not like natural?
If we don't have a natural connection, if we don't bond, if we don't build, I'm not going to ask to want to meet your mom.
But there's also other relationships too. If you're just my friend, right, and come home, meet my mom. There's other things. So other people might think that if we're going out to dinner, if we're going bowling, and hey, maybe want to meet your mom. But if I'm dating you, I feel kind of weird unless I feel in my bones you're going to be the one. I don't really need to meet your mother.
But see, something tells me, Ramona, that I just want and I'm sure I'm not the only guy. If I have a friend, look, if I don't have a chance on any level, whether it's a physical thing or whether this is going to be a relationship thing, can you just let me know that we're just going out and just obviously I'm.
If they were to ask me from the beginning, I would be dead honest.
So we have to ask.
But it's where do you see this going? Like, what would you see for us after the second? I would be honest with you. I like your company, but I ain't gonna make you the boyfriend.
Woo! Ramona Rizzo, baby, is with us tonight. 1-855-453-6694. We'll come back with more of Confessions of Love on 107.5 WBLS. Wow. Back behind the scenes with the Quiet Storm with Ramona Rizzo. Thank you for logging on and locking in. I believe it's a young lady who hit us up online. She says, how do you stay in shape? And you are definitely in shape. So how do you stay in shape?
I go through my little cleansings here and there. I'm a very big junk food eater.
Are you?
Oh, he's shaking his head. I was trying to go right now after this to go to Max Brenner's or the Sugar Factory, but even though this is New York City, they're closed at the time I'm going to get out of here.
Wow.
I love chocolate.
Do you? Wow.
Chocolate is my thing.
Really?
Chocolate covered strawberries, anything with chocolate.
Really?
We're good to go.
Chocolate. Some people like white chocolate. Some people like dark chocolate.
Milk.
Milk chocolate.
Which dark is actually better for you. I'll take
Right.
dark, but milk is my thing here.
Wow. Okay. Now that I know. Okay. Definitely. You have a question for her? No, that's in the human form, That's, global Vito, boy. Classic Vito. That's what I'm going to say. Classic Vito. Okay, so you have a sweet tooth.
Big sweet tooth.
But are you into like fast food stuff too?
You know what? In the last couple of years, not as much, but Popeyes is my favorite. Sometimes if I have a choice over a 5-star restaurant on Popeyes, we're going to Popeyes.
Look, I'm still into the murder burgers. You know what those are, right?
No. From where?
White Castle.
No, we don't do White Castle.
You don't do?
No. I just, not because I'm talking, I just don't like them in general.
Okay.
You know, I like In-N-Out Burger. I like Five Guys.
Five Guys is really good. It really, I agree with that. Ramona Rizzo is her name, and she is with us tonight. Want to talk about, expand on, go back to our first topic that we were putting on the table. What would you do if you found out your significant other cheated on you with the same sex? The first thing you would do is go get tested.
Only because I just think, again, when, even though AIDS, affects a lot of people, I just think that when it first came out, we just thought about it with guys being gay and whatnot. And regardless how hurt you are, that being somebody cheated on you, at the end of the day, it can't replace my health. We all sooner or later will get over a broken heart or try to backburn it, but your health you can never buy. And
the sad thing about it is that you have men out here who are undercover, and they're not, they're undercover. So obviously, if they're married or they're have a girlfriend, and they're going to have sex with obviously their significant others, and not expose that is the most dangerous thing in the world.
It's horrible, and I think that's why we're in the situation half the times that we are, because everybody thinks it's just coming between gay men, but they don't know that guy is going home to his wife, and still maybe being with a man on the down low.
So the second thing you do is what? Beat the shit out of him?
Oh, yeah, we're going to get ugly.
Okay.
It's going to get officially ugly. Yeah. And when I mean ugly, I'm going to have a breakdown. I'm going to yell. I'm going to scream. I'll probably, maybe, I've had my moments where I've taken it to that moment where I've cut their stuff, burned their stuff, and all of the above.
You've done that?
I've done that, of course.
Of course you have.
Yes,
okay.
I'm a Pisces. I'm very passionate.
Okay. Very passionate.
Yes.
That's what, March?
March.
I'm going to read about that sign. I got a little handy-dandy little rundown of that breaks down the month.
Okay.
And the characteristics of the person that's born in that month. I'm going to see if it's
very
true.
Passive person, very easy to get along with. But then, I'll go the extra mile for my loved ones, my friends, and, significant others. So I feel that if you're going to go hurt me, it's going to come with a whole lot of things.
It's going to come with some steam.
Yeah,
huh?
like, if you were my guy and you like sneakers, they would half of them would be gone. Your nice collection, your Jordan. If you were into ties,
did you write the treatment for a video that's out? No, because that's so funny because she burned his sneaker collection. You
would just probably right then and there think. Or I told one of my girlfriends who was in a situation. I said you should bag up all his stuff and start selling it on Instagram, or make the girl that he cheated on with you buy it back from you. Take it. You want the man, take his stuff too. How much you got?
Well. You know what? The chick who cheated on him, she can't even afford it.
You never know.
Really?
There's just been so many different situations that you can never. I'm telling you, never say no because there's just so many weird things going out there that you never would think of. Heard a lot.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it totally. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Trust. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about trust. No. Before we get to trust, change, because we talked about that in the very, very beginning. Change is good, no?
Yes, on some things.
What is it not good on?
Getting older.
Oh, gosh. You're so right about that. You're right. Well, some people embrace getting older gracefully and openly. Mm-hmm. How do you think you will?
What I mean by saying getting older, I don't really sometimes even have to do with your whole appearance and stuff like that. Like, for example, I was looking on Karen's Instagram before from Mob Wives. Her daughter is the same age as my son. So her daughter looks all grown and stuff. I said, you know what? They're not babies anymore. So as a mom, that's really hard to see that even though you feel and you want to protect them still as a little girl or your little baby, a boy, you can't control the change. You can't control them growing up.
Right. No, it's definitely going to change.
And there's a lot of stuff that they don't know yet and you want to teach them, but they have to learn by themselves.
Yeah, it must be very hard because you're a mom to the fourth power. And how's the breakdown? How many boys?
One
Girls?
boy, three girls.
Wow. So you're going to see yourself as a young lady grow up three times.
Yeah.
And that has to be a little interesting, I'm sure, to say the least, because
Challenging.
you know what you've been through, and obviously, as a parent, you don't want your daughters to go through anything that you may have encountered, negative, of course.
And it's hard to help them deal with stuff that you didn't go through. I'm dealing with the situation right now. My son, he's 15. His best friend just passed away yesterday. I never went through that, so here I am. I mean,
Yeah.
it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, we're living in a day and age, unfortunately, where you have young people passing just as much as you have older people passing.
And I said that last night when I heard the news. I said, it doesn't matter where you live.
No.
You know, you could be in the suburbs, you could be in the hood. Kids are dying all over.
Yeah.
And it's really, really sad.
Yeah, and it's, a lot of times it's not their fault
No,
that they are
totally
caught
not.
in this
Totally
situation.
not.
So yeah, our prayers goes out to anyone who may have lost a loved one, young, old, in the middle. It doesn't matter. A loss is a loss at the end of the day, and that's another change. I often equate our life two different ways. One, I get a wake up call in life when you get somebody, when you find out information that someone has transitioned that you really have grown to relate, close to. It just makes me open up my eyes and appreciate things a lot more. But on the other side of the coin, it's just devastating that we don't learn how to appreciate those that are around us as often as possible. I said just a little while ago on the air, it's hard. It's hard to lose a person, but more importantly, while you have these people here, make sure that you hug them. Make sure that you say, I love you as often as possible, because we're only granted the moment that we have. We're not granted it tomorrow.
You'll never get back yesterday. You could only try. And again, you cannot even, tomorrow's not even promised. So just try to make the time that you have with the people that you do love the best possible.
Sometimes I think the animals have it best. And the reason why I say that is because if a bird has a baby, it nurtures the baby until it can fly. Then the baby is set free. I mean, I don't know. I haven't studied bird life a lot, so I don't know if they reunite at some point. Unlike humans, we get attached. We have our children and we get attached, but then you stay with them for years and years and years. So obviously, emotionally, mentally, it's like, on all levels, we grow extra attached. So now imagine the carpet is pulled, quickly from you. It's devastating in many ways. Devastating.
Is, but that's just something that, it's like, paying taxes. You can't get out of it. You gotta go sooner or later.
Well, listen, can we not talk about that right now? I don't want to really talk about taxes or anything like it. Okay. We're going to go back on the air with Ramona Rizzo. Thank you for watching online tonight. We really appreciate it. Well, I'm still, my mind is still trying to find out what's the name of this fragrance this woman's wearing. I cannot. You really did. You did a good job. Good job. Welcome inside the Confessions of Love on this Monday evening. I'm Lenny Green, baby. It's nice to be close to you. We're just covering a lot of different areas of topics tonight with our special guest, Ramona Rizzo, who was so kind to come back for a second visit. Really appreciate that. And I know you have big news that's about to pop off, so I hope that you come back. Well, at least let us know. No, not now. Once you kind of get everything in motion. I like to kind of keep it in the loop.
Yeah, because I think it'll be a good topic up here, too.
Oh, wow. If it's going to be a good topic, I'm all for good topics, that's for sure. So young lady hit us up on Facebook. She says, Becky, thanks for hitting us up. She says, what have you been up to lately?
Just, so I still do appearances. I still interact with my fans. I still have a cartoons in the works. I'm going to be announced any day. I mean, it was announced. We're just trying to settle with the network. It's called The Cannolis. I work heavily with Market America. I don't know if you know about it. It's with Fat Joe.
Yeah.
And it just basically, it's about residual income. And he came and he was doing it to the Latin and the urban community.
Okay.
And I wound up knowing him, and my girlfriend has been friends with him for a million years. I love it. I just think that it helps people, be their own boss, be an entrepreneur, and you can get paid on it if you work at it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a firm believer in whatever you put in is what you get out. If you don't put in a lot, you're not going to get out a lot. So you have to be devoted, I would assume.
Yes. And I mean, yes, you do have to be devoted, but on the other side of it, they make wonderful products. So when the girl had asked me before, what do? I take a lot of vitamins in general, too.
Do you?
Yes. And these vitamins they have are no joke. because
Really?
it's a powder form, so it goes straight to your bloodstream.
That's true. Well, you work out as
Yes,
well?
I like to box.
Do you?
Yes, I've been boxing for a long time, many years, since I was a kid. Gets a lot of frustration.
From Brooklyn by way of Staten Island, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I've been all over, because all you really just need gloves. You don't really need a gym.
This is true. You know what? The old traditional way of fighting is definitely went out the window. I mean, there was a time where people used their fists. I can respect that. Now everybody wants to use something else. I can't respect that.
No.
Let's talk about trust issues.
Okay.
If you have a trust issue, do you think you can trust that person again?
I'm just a sucker for trust. You know what I mean? As much as I come off to be a hardcore girl and all this other stuff, I just feel that everybody that, if I'm going to let you into my life, that I have to trust you.
But suppose the trust is broken.
Oh, after that, then I just think it's probably just going to be really bad news at the end of the road. Unless they could sit there and I could honestly see in their eyes that they're truly, truly sorry. But I'll live by this rule. 3 strikes, you're out.
Wow.
But I'm not saying about cheating.
Women.
I'm not saying like there could be mistakes. Sometimes we've all been through it. If I find out you slept with a girl, we done. But there could be other things in between.
1-855-453-6694. Call us up if you'd like to engage in conversation. Ramona Rizzo is with us tonight. We're going to find out what's happening next with, well, I don't know if I asked her on air, so we'll ask her on air in just a little while. Why did she leave Mob Wives? This is the Quiet Storm, baby. 107.5 WBLS. Behind the scenes with Ramona Rizzo tonight. And, the trust issue situation, if anything, that's probably what I have. Trust issues. Because when you've been in more than one relationship and it kind of went down the same road. I start a new page, I think good, but in the back of my head, down in the corner on the side, it's always that question like, okay, what will happen next? And you can't really worry about that. I get that. But trust is like a piece of thread to me. And once that thread is broken, it's hard. And I think women are far, far, far more forgiving than we as men are. I think a man will have a problem if you stepped out. He might take you back, but nine times out of 10, he may not.
I'm not a believer in stepping out, but I feel once if we're just dating and we're not making it official,
right.
There's certain things that you could sit there and you could, accept and kind of ignore and start fresh. But if we were officially together and you did cheat on me, that's like a no-no. That would be, nice knowing you.
Well, they say, is it true that when a woman has sex, then it's, in her mind, she considers it to be a committed relationship?
No.
Okay. Because some women...
I think that was maybe in the 50s and the 40s.
No, that's in the new millennium, Ramona. In the new millennium, believe it or not.
No, because you know what? I mean, because so many people are sleeping with each other and it doesn't work like that anymore. And I think that's the problem, because a lot of times when it comes to that and you don't know where you stand and you have that conversation, are you dating anybody else? It's not what it was years ago. A lot of people, which I'm a big fan of texting, just because it makes my life easier. Oh, but gosh. I like you to call me. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, communication is key for me.
And I just think a lot of things now people are getting away with. You know what I mean? Like I could be on a date with you and I could be texting this one.
That's disrespectful.
Nobody knows what they're doing anymore. I like texting only if it's for business, only if we can't talk. But when it comes to a relationship, I want you to call me.
Are you big on communication?
Yes, major.
Major. Okay.
And it's hard for people to be on the same level to use communication.
Well, these days it is because of that. I think a lot of people use that as an escapism. I don't know if that's just their way of I guess feeling that they're connected to the person. It's still mind-boggling to me. But I believe in the old-fashioned aspect of just I need that communication. I'll text if I have to, but if we're going to get into you have an iPhone, so if we're going to get into I have an Android, so if you could send a nice long text. It probably pop up 10 times. My phone would be going off. I'm like, look, really? Can we have a conversation? I prefer that than for you to just write that entire long thing, and you probably know that this is going to just kind of just keep going off and keep going off. That's the most annoying thing. I think that's was a problem in one of my previous relationships. Just texting. Texting was not good, and that's what a lot of younger folks actually do these days. I mean, they miscommunication.
And the whole thing about a text message, it could be, read
The wrong.
off.
Yeah.
The tone could be off.
Right.
And it just causes a lot of issues.
Right, because maybe you have. Do you have unlimited?
Oh, we could go.
Unlimited. So
go.
you can write a full page and express what's on your mind.
If you're gonna text me, if we're gonna take it to that, I'm gonna write you a book back, so I get my points in.
And guess what? I got an Android, right? So now everything gets discombobulated.
Okay.
It's not in the right fashion or in order that you're sending it. So I got like piece number 5 to number 4.
Oh, so you're all
3,
over the map. So you really don't get it.
No, I don't get it. So you're right. I mean, it definitely could be
I would
misconstrued.
like to talk on the phone, but if you're gonna sit there and text, then I'm gonna give it to you what you deserve.
And you should, and you rightfully should. We talked a little bit about your business venture, the Marketing America. Tell me a little bit about that line, because is it all vitamins?
No. I mean, Motives makeup, Lala is a part of it.
Okay.
There's makeup involved.
Oh,
There's vitamins involved. They have one of the best vitamins right now. It's called OPC3. And I swear to God, this stuff cures everything. Like if you have sciatica, you take it. If you have something with the arthritis, you take it. And you just use it with your multivitamins. And again, it's not you're sitting there, you're not taking a vitamin that has the casting. You're not sitting there and, taking something that has all the substance around that you don't want in your body. You're taking a pure powder that you're mixing with the water, and it goes straight to your bloodstream. And it tastes very good.
Are these all natural products? Oh, really?
Great.
How can we find out more about it? Can you hit us up?
You could go to my website. I have it. Or you could go to www.shop.com/Ramona Rizzo, and it will take you there, and you'll find a lot of things that you would like from makeup that they have. They have vitamins. And then there's another side of it that, say, if you just want to go to Neiman Marcus and you want to buy one of their stuff, you sign up, and shop.com will give you money back for shopping online.
Oh, really?
Yes. So even if you don't want to buy any Market America products, you could sit there and go buy a pair of Nike sneakers. You could go buy your girlfriend a pair of Louboutin shoes, and you're getting money back. You're getting paid to shop.
Wow.
Yes. So it's very easy. I'm a big believer in getting paid to shop, especially from my home computer.
RamonaRizzo.com. Make sure that you go to check out our website, and you will find it, the information right there. Let's talk about Ramona Rizzo's love life. How is it?
It's good.
You're happy?
Very good. I'm happy.
You're in love?
I'm in love.
That's good.
I like love. You know what? I'm
Hopefully
a girl
romantic.
that needs, not that I need to, I enjoy having a significant other.
That's good.
You know what I mean?
What we all need somebody.
But to what level?
To the ultimate level.
I don't think a lot of people believe that. I think some people need that girl that he wants to cook for her. Some person wants that girl that he wants to have the best sex, and some person wants to have that girl that, that he knows that could be her rock. That if he gets in trouble, or if he wants to go and really have, tell his deep, dark secrets too.
The rock is important,
Yes.
and the sex is important. I mean, mama, I don't know how the boys are being raised today, but my mama pretty much, made me domesticated. So,
Okay. You could
I can handle myself.
You'd be surprised though.
Well, I'd be surprised. I'm even more surprised that a lot of girls don't, aren't as diverse in terms of just domesticated or cooking in any way, shape, and form. That's kind of surprising to me because, I guess the old stereotype you think or assume that, she's a woman, so obviously she knows the basics, but there's a lot that really don't. And because of a lot of things. It may be because of lifestyle, maybe because of schooling, maybe because of even career. So I mean, I don't fault them for that, but it does.
I think it has a lot to do with the generation that we're growing up in now. There's not, you don't have that luxury or anymore. Like, you got to stay home with your mom and your mom taught you the basis. Girls this day and age, they have to go out and work for young, or they're going to college and they're, in the nighttime, maybe having that other job, or, in the morning doing the job and in the nighttime going to school. So I don't think we really get to spend that, home time anymore.
No, I agree. Totally. So are we looking at wedding bells at some point?
I definitely eventually will get married.
Okay, that's a good
I
look.
enjoyed being married. I was married for 10 years.
That's a good, nice run.
I like it much better than dating. I like to say that.
You like marriage much better than dating?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Dating is...
Well, dating these days is like, yeah, it's rough. I mean, if you can find the ideal person that really is like right in sync with you and you can grow and become a great unit together, I'm all for that too.
And I'm sure you heard this a lot, and especially, people are dealing with more and more. Social media really could do a lot of damage to relationships. It could also open your eyes because if somebody you're dealing with has a side chick or vice versa, they could get exposed and you could learn different things about the person that you thought was the prince. But there's so many people out there that don't want to see you happy that will just look there to really just put like major kinks in your relationship.
Well, you're absolutely right. A friend of mine was in a relationship, and she was about to move in with the guy. And I remember saying to her, "It's like, are you really ready to do that?" Long story short, on social media, on Facebook, he was on his knee proposing to somebody else. Now that's crazy. So actually, he had another life on the side that she was totally clueless about, and this relationship was going on for like probably 2 or 3 years.
That happens a lot. Now everybody's getting together and they're talking about it.
107.5 WVLS. It's the Quiet Storm, baby. Soft and warm, nice and comfortable on this Monday evening. Getting ready for the beautiful island of Jamaica, and can't wait to bask and enjoy the sun on every level. Trust me when I tell you. We have Miss Ramona Rizzo with us tonight. You may remember her from the VH1 hot show Mob Wives. And I wanted to ask before you left tonight, because I know some of your fan base wants to know that didn't read about it. Why did you actually leave the show?
It started off with the main reason that I think a lot of things go bad in life. Money's the root of all evils.
Right.
So if you want me to play, you need to pay me. And with that starting to be uncovered, certain other things started to get uncovered. And then at the end of the day, it wasn't even, money comes and goes, but I lost something more important in life than money. It was a friendship for over 25 years.
Wow.
So a lot of people like...
Based on the reality show?
Yeah.
Wow.
And a lot of people would pick money over friendship or don't think that they're going to get caught in the things that they did to destroy that friendship.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it really tells you the measure of the friendship, or really, if it was a friendship, it could have been an association. Because true friendship, I don't think true friendship, money would destroy that. I mean, I could be totally wrong, but if it's a true friend, because they say some people come into our lives for a season, a reason, a lifetime. So if it's a true friend, obviously the friend is there for a lifetime. And the friend, a real friend, kind of understands all sorts of situations at times.
I think they do, but I think then also too, like if I put myself in their shoes, I just think that some people live differently. And how maybe they would treat their own family over a dollar. Wow. So it just, it is what it is.
Before I let Ramona Rizzo go, we will check the lines and see if you'd like to engage in conversation. This is the Quiet Storm, baby, on 107.5 WBLS. WBLS, do you have a question for Ramona? Welcome again to the Quiet Storm. Really, really appreciate that. As a single person, and I know you're not single, but you were single at one time. But as a single person, how assertive do you think people should be willing to be when meeting someone? This is New York City. Right? There's over 9 million people here. So you see somebody who caught your eye, because we're attracted to people first, obviously, from a physicality standpoint. Hard for me to know how much of an intellectual you are just from looking at you. But what captivates us is the physicality of it, or maybe how he's dressed. Again, physical nature. So you see somebody who captures your attention. Now, as a woman, are you assertive? Do you make a move and let him know that he's dressed well? Do you try to strike up a conversation? Have you ever done that in your life?
Well, you know what? Everyone thinks because I'm on a reality show that I'm not shy. Just in general, if I was to first meet somebody, just even regardless if I thought they were attractive or not, a lot of people I'm allowed to say the B word. They take me as to be a bitch just because I'm shy. So that never really would happen because when it's all, said and done, I'm very quiet. But once I get to know you, then I'll say whatever comes to my mind.
Right. No, I'm talking about somebody in passing.
No, if they're passing, maybe I would be like, okay, nice shoes, just in general, if I want to give you my opinion, but I can never go up to a guy like that. No. They say
the quote that I've heard, everlasting love can strike anywhere and at any time. And sometimes, you can miss that moment. Like, I think you have a small window to kind of capture a person's attention once you kind of meet a person. If the vibe is right and you hit it off real quick, the next stage could happen. And if you don't catch that next stage within seconds, then what's the chances of you seeing that person again?
But that has to be in God's plan. You know what I mean? If you're going to speak upon, if you're going to approach them, it's going to be meant to be. You're going to do it. So if you walk away, then he wasn't the one or she wasn't the one. It's already written who we're going to be with and how we're going to get there.
Well, I hope I get to that part of my book because, like, right now, I don't even know what part of the book I'm in. You know what I'm saying?
The book isn't done yet.
Well, I know. I'm well aware of that, Ramona. I know.
You have to be patient, you know?
Well, patience
Unfortunately, we have no choice but to be patient. You know, we all want to know who we're going to wind up with. You know, how long is it going to last? Where are we going to move to? You know, what's all these next steps? But there's nothing we could do. You know, we don't have this crystal ball.
No, we don't. And I don't know if we really want to see what's going to happen next, but we kind of want to know certain things.
Certain things, because with the good comes the bad. And I don't think anybody wants to see the bad. I think it's just best that if it just, God forbid, happens. Because how do you really sit and handle the bad? There's no preparation for that. No. Except to say, I love you a little bit more. But what if it's things that doesn't have to relate to you saying, I love you? What if it has something to do with it? You know, they're just dogging you. Do you want to just stab them now and go to jail?
No, I do not want to do that. I don't even want to see the word jail. You know, I value my life, you know, and I understand my self-worth. And that's why I say to people, you know, I'm like, do you think I want to waste my time doing something crazy to somebody? Now, don't get me wrong, to protect myself, definitely. To do something crazy unnecessarily, I got too much brains. And you think I want to be behind a block of cement worrying about Harry or Bruce or somebody else chasing me down or worrying about my life? Oh, no way. It's just not for Lenny Green. It may be for some people.
I'm not I do not believe in guys putting, hands on girls. I think it's awful. But I mean, for us girls, we could have a little fits, throw things, do whatever, because, if you cheat, you caused upon it. Or if you did something that was
you deserve to be abused.
Yes, you deserve to hear yells, screams, things broken. If that's or sometimes a guy might prefer that over the silent treatment. Because when you get the silent treatment, you didn't know what you did. And if you really did a whole bunch of bad things, you're going to murder yourself.
But you are not the silent one.
Sometimes.
Oh, you like to make him sweat, huh?
So, you know what? I did that role. And sometimes it's very interesting. It's very comical. And sometimes it just really, it's a little bit better payback.
Well, that's, you know what? Then you exercise patience effortlessly.
Mm-hmm. I think as you get older, you get wiser.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm older, so I'm trying to get wise, and but patience is a learned experience, and not everyone just falls into it naturally. I mean, there's a lot of things that I was doing in my 20s, and now I look back and you learn, but you don't know at 20. At 20, you just kind of, I call it, no disrespect to anybody 20 who may be watching or listening, but 20 is like young and dumb. Not unless there's very few that are really intelligent, really focused, and really driven to do what they need to do. But and I think your 20s should be made up of, obviously, you kind of experiencing life, but just not recklessly. But
also the generation of the 20s now, I see them to be much more ambitious than years ago's 20s. They're heavily out there trying to really get their hustle on and, really trying to make their mark, opposed to what it was years ago.
Right. Well, I've heard that the new thing now, what young folks should do, we fell into a situation where we go to school and then we fall into a career. Now it's about creating your own career, and we have a lot of young minds who are very, really good at doing that, and they've started some wonderful things. I mean, look at Mark, who started up Facebook.
Sure.
Look at the cat who started up Twitter. I mean, these cats, the young minds, and they just put it to good use and get that network of people around them that thought the same way, and they became millionaires overnight. So.
And I think even though they have more than we did, when we were younger, I just think that they're still much hungrier for the next step. And they really are like out there trying to just do whatever they could do and taking it to different levels where we would never thought of.
Right. No, I agree 100%. I follow you on Twitter. You tweeted something a little earlier. I just want to kind of get your reaction to it. Sometimes the eyes can speak louder than the mouth. Expound on that.
Like what I just told you 2 minutes ago, it's just sometimes a silent treatment. I'm not talking, but, I could, you could kind of like just tell my whole body language by my eyes. If I'm mad at you, if I'm in love with you, if I want you to get away from me.
Right.
Your eyes could tell its story all by itself.
Are you Well, have you ever been, or do you think you were back in the day confrontational a lot, or have you now? You've never been like that, or have you now taken yourself to a different
I
level?
was never ever a confrontational person unless I was pushed to it. I'm not. I don't get bothered unless you bother me. Other than that, it's all about Ramona and Ramona's world. I do stand up for my friends. I do stand up what I believe in. But unless you're really trying to do something at me, that's when the confrontation starts. Other than that, I believe let everybody do what they need to do. It's none of my concern. As long as you don't hurt children and old people, we're good. You
You
could
know,
do what you got to do. You could. I can never judge you. That's up to God.
her name is Ramona Rizzo, y'all. In case you don't know, if you don't know, you can Google this lady, and everything will pop up, and you can learn a lot more about her than what we have experienced here tonight. Well, what fun things are you doing? I know you got this project that's about to blow up, but aside from that project, what fun things are you hoping to do for 2014?
I
You,
mean,
you do travel a lot?
I do travel, but I have to also take into consideration that I'm a mom.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean, in the summertime, I mean, the kids are out of school, right?
Lenny, that's a whole other issue. We try to go on a really fun
Vacation.
vacation, but again, getting back to our other topic, there's a thin line between love and hate. Wanted to take the kids on a big cruise, the whole 9 yards. The kids' passports are expired, and
Oh,
Daddy do nothing. Daddy done diddly is not here,
got it.
so
Yeah.
we can't do anything
I see.
because we hate the mom. Because there's a thin line between love and hate. So,
Woo! I'm going to play that song for you
honey,
tonight.
that's another tattoo that I should get.
I did like. Do you have any tattoos?
Yes, I only have one.
What does it say?
It doesn't say anything.
Oh, it's a symbol.
Of the eye,
Really?
the evil eye,
Oh, wow.
behind my neck. So I tell my kids, "Mommy's got eyes behind the neck," and everybody knows that I can see what they're doing and how they're doing it.
I want to get one tattoo.
Mm.
Maybe two, but definitely one. Just one.
I like tattoos that have purpose. I have tattoos that have meaning. I also like tattoos that are hidden because I don't really, even though I was on TV and I showed people my life, before that, my business is my business. And unless you want to share it with me,
Right.
I believe in that. So I like to keep a lot of things that are close to me private.
And, I respect that. There's some people, if you go to Facebook right now, they expose a lot of their personal life. And that's cool for them. I could never do that. I just don't. Look, we got so many other. You got your problems. I got my problems. We got issues that we got to deal with within ourselves. Why am I going to burden you with what I'm going through? I mean, it's not going to bring no resolution to my situation, is it?
Some people want guidance and they don't know, how to deal with their own. Some people are not as strong as maybe you or our neighbor or myself, and they look for that. Like I have just people that, write me things, and I'm like, it's flattering on one side, but on the other side, who really am I? That you want to, share something like that with me. So everybody's looking for an answer maybe they can't get by themselves.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That's why you got to have a little faith. Well, you got to have a lot of faith.
You have to have a lot of faith. And at the end of the day, whatever's meant to be shall happen. We cannot stop it.
She preached tonight a little bit. I'm going to bring her back on air so we can say goodbye to her. But I can't thank you enough, Ramona, for just coming by and sitting down with me. I really appreciate it. And
you're always a pleasure.
Hopefully you'll. So are you.
Always a calm vibe in here, and it's always very positive and very sexy.
Well, what helps sexiness is when beautiful people like you come by, and then we can really illuminate it the right way and make it just very, very special. But thank you for the compliment. We try to. This is a relaxing time of the day.
And this actually is my real voice that I would like to use more, but being that people get me annoyed or aggravated,
they
or
don't hear this
I have
side.
to be stern because if I'm dealing with business, they don't really get to say it. So I would have a boyfriend many, many years ago be like, "Oh, your voice," because we were in a good place.
Yeah.
But that other voice would flip when we were in a bad place. So this is nice to come in here and to really actually be me.
Well, I could see that there's a sensual side to you based on your voice. Obviously that's
Pisces,
what I hear.
Baby, Pisces.
Hey, I don't know. I gotta admit, you know what? Hold on. I'm gonna go to my bag. I don't know much about Pisces, but I'm gonna try to find out before you leave. Hold on. I'm serious. I got this little list.
Pisces are no joke.
This doesn't leave me wrong.
I remember you had these books last time about the astrology and whatnot.
It's not even astrology.
About the signs.
It's a sign.
Yeah. Because I remember you gave me CDs and we talked about the signs and whatnot. Yeah.
Here it is. This is my magic sheet. It never leads me wrong. If I just want to find out some characteristics about people, I just go to my magic sheet and it tells me. Now some of the words have faded out, so because it's been beat up in my bag. Attractive personality, definitely. Sexy, affectionate. It does say shy. It says shy and reserved. Are you reserved?
In public.
Okay. Can't see that part. Sensitive to others. Can't see that. Easily angered.
Depends.
Of course. Trustworthy, appreciative, and returns kindness.
Oh, that's major.
But they said you hardly show emotion.
I like to show emotion a lot of times in private because like one of my issues when we were just saying before, if I'm going to cry in front of you, what could you actually do for me? I like to settle things.
You.
But I like to settle them by myself. And on the other side, the flip side, I don't want to burden you. And if you're the person that hurt me, I definitely don't want to show that, you really
I got you. But what about if a person is in your life and someone else, did the harm to you or the hurt to you? If that man is in your life, do you want to still be, away from him and he's not the one who caused the harm? Let's say someone else caused the harm. You got hurt and emotional about it. Do you go to your man for the comfort or do you prefer to be alone?
I would like to just see if I could solve it by myself first. Because again, even though communication is great and I'm a big believer in communication, I just don't like to trouble people with any issues that I have.
So you need to go to your own quiet place, kind of work it out, and then you come out.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
If it comes from within you, why can't you solve it by yourself? If you're feeling these emotions, you're the one that really could settle them and kind of come to terms with it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, it's better than going to just anybody and getting bad, bad answers or bad solutions.
Advice is nice to have, and I respect certain people's advice, but at the end of the day, you could give me all the advice in the world. I'm still going to do what I want to do.
Oh, this is a Piscean right here. See, this is a Piscean. Okay, it says you tend to bottle up feelings.
Yes.
So that would be it right there. Observant and discusses observant and can't see that. Can't see it. So a lot of this stuff has faded away. I gotta get a new version.
I observe a lot of things. Like I'm the type of person that I could have 5 conversations at once, but
you're
still
multitasking.
Hear what you're saying, and you won't even know that I'm going to use it against you or for us later on.
So your ears is like over here, even though you're on your phone.
Oh, hell yeah.
Gosh,
you don't want to say it. If you don't want me to know it, don't say it.
But if I'm in the room,
okay,
and I say it, I'm not hiding it.
No.
But I didn't know the ear was in the conversation. No, you
in
know.
my space.
But we're in the same space, right? So if I'm on the phone over there and you're over there, you're gonna basically hear. I mean, we can hear.
It's obviously. Like, okay, if I'm walking, do I not mean to see something that's in front of me? So how do you not hear something if somebody's speaking it where you're at?
Some people have a tendency, or so they say they do, to block and close things
I could block you, but you have to really do something to me.
Right.
But other than that, whatever, we all have to be accountable for what we're going to say. So if you don't want me to know about it, don't say it.
Accountability is a big word.
Major.
It really is a big word.
That's why we're in a lot of trouble.
Oh, who you telling? Look, having been married for 10 years, figure out, give me your perspective on this marriage equation. Is it true that a willing partner plus valuing love equals a good marriage? True or false?
It's true.
True. Okay, so anything opposed to that would definitely be
problem.
The philosophy tonight of Miss Ramona Rizzo. How can they follow you?
On Instagram, which I'm major on, it's Ramona Rizzo. Twitter, Ramona Rizzo, VH1, and the Facebook. But I do everything, from Instagram. I love it because I could block you if you're rude, and I also could snap back at you.
Wow.
Because if I want to have a little fun with my tongue.
Like, I love this lady. She is fun. You're always fun to talk to. You know, you're really down to earth and you're warm, and I really appreciate your company. So, and she smells great. So that helps. And her eyes are so your eyes are chestnut brown, which is really nice. Anyway, so we thank you so much, and I wish you all the best in your endeavors. I know you have a wonderful big project, a big secret that's about to explode. So I wish you all the best in that. I know things are going to be really, really well for you this year, and you deserve it. We all deserve goodness to come into our life.
Goodness should bring goodness. It's just a matter that we just have to sit back and wait for it.
And be patient.
Be patient. Now the tattoo, patience.
So you got 3 tattoos coming, according to you.
Right? We're gonna go together. We're gonna go. Whatever you're gonna get.
I'm a punk. I'm a punk. I don't like those needles. But if you know a good, I'm looking for a real good tattoo artist to do this concept that I have.
We have them.
Yeah, I know. I know. If you know one, you let me know.
I just gotta be man up and ready to do
it. Look, you know what? It takes me a minute to get there. Because I'm not big on the needle situation, but I'm gonna do it.
All right.
Just one.
Okay.
To your 3.
All right.
You do 3, and I'll do 1.
Okay.
Ramona Rizzo, baby, inside of The Quiet Storm behind the scenes. We'll go back on air with her and say goodbye in just a moment. But thanks for watching and for being right there for us tonight. Appreciate you. I don't know where the time goes. But it really flies by really, really quick, and especially when you have company. And we did have company tonight. Ramona Rizzo, who used to be on Mob Wives, has come by to just chill in the cut, and we just have one wonderful, neighbor conversation about
Good
a
vibe.
few things. Great vibe. The only thing that was missing was some wine tonight, but I'll get that later.
And the name of my perfume.
And the name of that's the biggest thing that, because fellas, I smell a lot of different perfumes as people walk by, and I try to learn certain perfumes. And I know the scent of Ramona's perfume, but I just can't seem to get it. But good perfume, ladies, good perfume is so vitally important.
Majorly important.
Oh,
it's like a good cologne.
Yes.
A good cologne could really sometimes excuse an ugly guy.
Oh yeah, just for the moment while you have dinner with him, right? And then
as he's
see you
passing,
later.
you could get a good whiff of him.
Oh yeah. Well, I wouldn't know about that part, but
and he turns
I
around
love
and kind of excuses, maybe
his
something
ugliness.
you're not into for a minute.
Well, sometimes they say opposites attract. What may attract you, I was like, she's with him, really?
Or, like I said, I was in a situation. My ex-husband is totally not my type. You sometimes wind up the people that aren't your type.
That's what I'm saying.
It happens. Maybe you smell good that day.
Maybe. Hey, look, tell everyone how everyone can stay up with you and all the happenings that you got going on.
My major thing I use is Instagram at Ramona Rizzo. I also am on Twitter, Ramona Rizzo VH1, and my Facebook. But Instagram is the key.
Your thing.
I love it because I do everything from there.
Well, I'm following you. Hopefully, I'll get a follow back from you.
Definitely. When I came last time, you didn't have it, and either did I.
But we got it now.
Now we have it. Now we have
a lot. You got a lot of followers, that's for sure. Look, I've enjoyed this moment, and thank you again. And you have an open door policy.
Thank you.
So come on back and let's sit down and have another conversation. We'll have chocolate next time and wine.
Okay.
Chocolate and wine.
There's chocolate wine, Now, if you could get me that, then you really be in like Flynn.
Consider it done. Fellas, get ready for the rest of the hour. And you know what? In just a little while, I got your chance to win your way in to see Earth, Wind & Fire. They're coming to town. And if you've never seen this iconic group do their thing, trust me, you would want to be there with me June 19th and 20th at NJ Pack. It's going to be phenomenal. It's The Quiet Storm, baby, on 107.5 WBLS.